Hi everybody, it is Friday and we are back for another edition of SizzleForce Marketing Live. And I am super excited because I'm going to start doing something new. Today I am actually going to answer questions that people send me. Some people will pop these questions up on my Facebook group, which if you're not in it, I hope you'll join because it's free. It's SizzleForce Marketing Connections. If you just look for that in the search bar on Facebook, you'll find us and you can go ahead and join it. We'll accept you. And so some people post these questions in there. Sometimes people will just ask them to me on the phone, or I'll get them through email, or various Facebook places, all kinds of things. So I'm going to start answering these questions that I get somewhat frequently during my lives so that you guys don't have to wonder anymore what the answers are to your fabulous questions. So if you have questions about marketing your small business, lay them on me. Bring them to me, okay? Jump in the group and post them. Get on my SizzleForce page, which is where we're broadcasting this from right now. You can send me emails, ping me, ding me, do whatever you would like to do. Just ask your questions. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to jump in and I'm going to share that today's question came from Sherry Painter. And Sherry owns a company called, I'm reading it from my notes so I don't butcher it, Bird's Eye Aerial Drones. How cool is that? They do drone footage. I mean, that's cool. So hi Sherry, I hope you're going to be able to join us and watch this live. If you don't watch it live, I hope you catch the replay. But Sherry had some great questions about her website. She has a website right now. However, she is thinking about getting help with it in the next few months. And so she posed a few different questions to me. So in this Facebook Live, what we're going to cover right now is how to save thousands of dollars and countless hours of frustration when designing your new website. Now, this may be your first website if you're brand new to business, or it may be a redesign because as your business grows and evolves and changes, you often have to change your website along with it. So regardless of where you're at, experienced business owner, startup business owner, these are all very relevant questions that you need to be asking and getting the answers to before you pull out your wallet and give anybody even one little penny. So I have a bunch of questions here on my paper, and I am going to read them one at a time to you, and then we're going to discuss. And I would love for you guys, as I am covering all of this, in the comments to, if you have a question about the answer to the question, go ahead and post it. If you have a comment about it, if you have a great suggestion, if something else comes up, get in the comments and go ahead and speak your piece, right? That's what these are for. I'm here to help. Okay, why does that happen? Why do we go offline? Every time we're at the 3-minute mark, I don't know. That's a technical question. I need a technical person to do Facebook Lives and answer my questions. But let's jump in here and answer Sherry's first question. And the question is this: when is the best time to invest in bringing someone on to either rehab my sites or get assistance maintaining it? Well, that is a good question. So when is the right time to do that? That can be difficult to know and understand because, as a small business owner, there's always a million things pulling at us, right? There's a million priorities pulling at our lives in general, and our business to-do list is usually very, very long, and our marketing list is often even longer than that. So it's sometimes hard to know when really is the right time to go ahead and put this money down and take the activity necessary to get some professional help with your website. Now, those of you guys that are running smaller businesses, you may be you may have your website that you've designed by yourself on Wix. Like, I see that Wix commercial with that model all the time. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I don't even know who the model is because I'm like super not into pop culture, but it's some model, and she gets on and she said, I just designed my own website using Wix. I just did this, this, and this, and then I had a website. Okay, so Wix, it has a time and place, and it is great when you're doing something pretty basic, just getting started, don't want to put out a lot of money, and you need something that is, you know, quote unquote, good enough, right? When you're ready to really elevate your business and go to a new level, really getting something that is unique to you, this is when I recommend for my clients that they get onto WordPress. Okay, there are a lot of other options. My personal preference is WordPress, and it's what I use with all of my clients because WordPress is so easy to use. It is so easy to use, and any basic changes you need to make as a small business owner, like maybe you need to update a price or change a few words or swap out a picture. Those are easy things that you can do on WordPress without needing to know code and all that stuff. On the flip side, when you need your website to perform at a much higher level and you need it to do advanced functionality, you can bring in the developer sources and they can do crazy stuff with WordPress websites. You would be amazed how many enormous brands that you've heard of, like household brand names, that have WordPress websites. It is the industry leader for a reason. So, back to Sherry's question, when is the right time to put the money out to hire professional help? Well, I think there's five signs when you're ready for this. Number one, most obviously, you're not getting results from your website. It's not doing anything for you. If your website is just, you know, flat on the internet and it's just you're occupying space on the internet, that is kind of a waste of time, money, internet space, whatever you want to look at it is. If your website is not actually generating some activity that is leading to business growth, then you need to consider redoing your website. Another time when you want to consider working on your website is when you are attracting the wrong people to it. Okay, so maybe you're getting traffic to your website, but maybe it's all the wrong traffic. Maybe you're just attracting a lot of spammers, right? Or maybe you're attracting a lot of people that say, wow, your content is so great. I love what you have, but I'm never actually going to buy anything, right? So that is another sign that you're ready to do this. How about when things aren't working anymore? Okay, you can't design a website like 5 years ago and expect it to continue performing at the same level it did 5 years ago if you're not doing any maintenance or doing anything to upgrade it. And that's because, you know, we are in a constantly changing situation with websites, right? Everything is constantly evolving and there's new things coming out all the time. And so if you want to stay on the competitive edge, you've got to do that. I'm going to take a quick little break here and just say hi to everybody. I saw Kelly's there. Hi, Kelly. Lori's there. I saw Amy. I saw Janelle. I'm so glad you guys are here. Welcome, welcome. I have a lot to share with you today on how to save thousands of dollars and countless hours of frustration when designing or redesigning your website. Okay, so back to Sherry's question. Number 4, another sign that you are ready for a website redesign is when you're embarrassed by your website. Anybody? You're feeling me? Okay. Have you ever been to a networking group or anywhere and you kind of almost make excuses, or when someone says, oh, what's your website? You say, oh, it's such and such, but you know, don't look at it now because we're in the middle of a redesign. Or, oh, this is my website, but we need to make a lot of changes to it, so it's better if you just call me, right? Those are signs that it's time to actually take some movement forward. Okay, last one. If your competitors look better than you do on the internet, that's a sign that it's time to call in some professional help, right? Because if your competition looks better, chances are they're attracting a lot of the clients that you are losing. And that stinks. And there's no reason for that, because I believe many of you guys have a much better product or service than your competitors do. But if your website doesn't reflect that, it is a problem. Okay, so as I say things here, again, I want to invite you guys to leave comments, okay? Because I want to answer any questions or comments that come up for you while I'm talking. So please feel free to do that if you wish. All right, so Sherry's next question is, when is it time to get help maintaining my site? Good question. Here's a mistake a lot of people make. A lot of people think that when they get a website, it's kind of like set it and forget it. Like it's a crock pot. Oh, I did all the work. It's done. Now I can just walk the other direction and focus on other things. That is not true. And honestly, it is something that creates a lot of problems for people with their websites. You absolutely need to maintain your website. So a lot of developers now have created website maintenance plans where once a month they'll go in and do all the back end stuff that the rest of us don't want to know about. They'll update plugins and make sure that plugins are playing nicely together and yada yada yada. They'll do all their developer stuff, right? That is an expense that in my world is non-negotiable. I pay my developer, I think it's $40 or $50 a month to maintain my website. And that ensures that my website's not going down. And if it does go down for some awful reason, it's back up literally in minutes. It ensures that my plugins are playing nicely. There's no conflicts. There's nothing totally weird happening. I will tell you guys, there was a time actually when I was working on a client's website, and because it was not maintained, one day we popped on and it was taken over by, are you ready for this? Albanian hackers. Now, how did I know they were Albanian? Because they told us. They put something on the homepage of the website, and I don't have a copy of it to show it to you, but it was this big black and red image that said something along the lines of, "We are Albanian hackers and we have taken over control of this website." It was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? So it was something, right? Here's the thing. If you are not maintaining your website, if you are not doing the updates you need to do every month, the Albanian hackers might come for you too. And they're not always Albanian. Hackers are everywhere. In fact, if you guys weren't aware of this, just this past July, they had a convention in Las Vegas. I happened to be there at the same time. It's called Black Hat, and 25,000 hackers from all over the world flew into Vegas to learn how to hack better, right? Some of them are the good guys helping, the FBI or whoever it is, and some of them are the not so good guys. So here's the thing. If you're not maintaining your website, you are making it you're definitely putting yourself at very high risk for getting hacked, and it is horrible when that happens. So hear me. If you're not maintaining your website, if you do not have a professional developer maintaining your website, you really need to make that investment. It really is something at this point with my clients. I wasn't always like this, but I am now. Now with my clients, I almost make it a mandatory thing. When I do your website, you're also going to make sure that you invest in the ongoing maintenance. Otherwise, all kinds of hairy, scary stuff happens. So, hi Luma, I can see you joined us. It's nice to see your beautiful face. So good to have you. And yes, Janelle, oh my is right. Okay, so another time when you know it is time to get help maintaining your site is when you don't know what you're doing anymore. Okay, let's be honest. Most of us are not coders. Most of us, maybe we know some WordPress basics. Maybe. Some of you know nothing about WordPress, right? But some of you guys know a little bit about WordPress, enough to be dangerous anyways. But if something goes really wrong, or you need to really elevate your functionality in some way, your hands are tied. You don't know how to fix it. You don't know how to elevate and get done what you need done. If you don't know what you're doing, it's a good sign it's time to hire a professional to help you maintain your site. Now, the developer that I usually recommend for this, it's the same guy that does the monthly maintenance, but he has an add-on fee where if you just need some new functionality, you can pay this extra fee, and then he can add stuff on instead of waiting until your site is completely falling apart or not functioning for you or whatnot, right? So if you guys want his contact info, I'd be happy to send it to you. You can just go ahead and let me know. So, and he doesn't know I just did that pitch for him. So you're welcome, Rob. Okay, so, all right. We're going to move on to Sherry's third question here. How to hire the right person. How to hire the right person when designing your website. That's a big question, because everybody and their brother these days thinks they're a website developer, especially now that we have sites like Wix, or you can build your own thing on GoDaddy, or, you know, whatever. There's a million different options. So, how to hire the right person. Now, Sherry said she's looking for somebody, she says specifically, we are looking for someone with aviation military tech experience along with awesome design and web skills. So if any developers happen to watch this live and you've got that background, Sherry's looking for you. I don't know anybody that actually has that background, Sherry. However, I do know somebody that does a lot of marketing work in the aviation community, and she might know somebody. So I don't know if Jill is going to jump on and join us today, but if she is, maybe she could hook you up with somebody. But what concerns me a little bit more is the second part of this question that says, in addition to looking for somebody with aviation military tech industry experience, you're also looking for somebody with awesome design and web skills. Here's a problem. Typically, really good developers are not really good designers, right? Now, you can buy a theme on WordPress and you can fill in the blanks, so to speak, right? You can buy a theme and it'll have a place to put a picture, and you can pop a picture in there. And that's pretty easy stuff. But if you want anything customized outside of that theme, that is when you need to bring in a designer, right? You need a designer that is able to really showcase your brand and show off your strengths in a way that is going to captivate your target market and keep those of you that are already working with somebody, like in this case, if your existing clients are coming back to your website for some reason, keep them interested, keep them on the site and wanting to stay there. So the point being here, it's very difficult to find a developer that is also a very good designer. I usually will have 3 people on a website development team. I'll have the developer that is just the master of code, somebody that knows it inside and out. I will have the designer who probably knows nothing about code, maybe a little bit about WordPress stuff, but nothing even close. They can't touch what the developer knows. But they can design like a rock star. They can do visual storytelling that would blow your mind, right? And then there's the copywriter, or you could call them the content developer, the person that writes everything on your website if you don't do that yourself. So I think looking for somebody, Sherry, that has the military tech experience, is an awesome developer and is also an awesome designer, is a pretty crazy request and expectation. If you find somebody like that, that's incredible. Please give me their name. I have been doing this. I haven't been able to find somebody like that. So I would highly recommend that you actually create a website development team. Now, a lot of developers, copywriters, and graphic designers kind of have their own teams. So not all of them, but the more experienced people, those of us that do this for a living, we usually have our preferred resources. For example, if you work with my company, SizzleForce, I have a graphic designer that I would have on the job. I have a developer that I have worked with on many projects that I already know and trust, and so we like to save you that time. So a lot of times the team will already exist, but especially if you're trying to do this at the lower budget level, you might have to assemble your own team, and it might be a little bit more work. But it is wise to get people that are really good at what they do rather than trying to make a developer become a graphic designer, because it's like asking you, let's say, I don't know, what do you do for a living? Let's say you're a flight attendant for a living, and I say, hey, flight attendant, I need the engine on the plane fixed. Can you take care of that? The flight attendant's like, no. I don't know how to fix the engine on the plane, but I can certainly get you some peanuts and a Coca-Cola, right? So you got to be wise with your expectations. Okay, so Sherry's next question here. Oh, you know what? I forgot to bring something up to you guys. There are so many really, really important questions that you need to be asking whoever it is that you do decide to hire that I actually created a document. And here I'm going to show you this document so you can see it. This documentation is stuff that is part of SizzleForce Marketing Club, which is one of my products. And it actually includes 45 questions that you should ask whoever it is that you want to hire. You might be like, 45 questions, good grief. Why would I ever do something like that? That sounds exhausting. Okay, yeah, maybe a little technical snafu there. Sorry for whatever you're seeing. And if you heard that voicemail start playing, sorry. Okay, so you might think 45 questions. This is ridiculous. Why would I ever ask so many questions? Well, let me tell you why. Because when you ask those questions up front, that's exactly what saves you thousands of dollars and countless hours of frustration later, right? Because there's very clear expectations up front. There's very clear understanding of exactly what you need, when you need it, how you're going to get it, when it's going to be delivered, all kinds of stuff. And there's actually 12 categories that these questions fall into, and I'll share these with you real quick. I'll read these to you. I'm not going to read you all 45 questions, so don't worry, but I am going to tell you, you need to be asking them questions about their experience, about their timeline, about payments, functionality, design, their team, the strategy, the content, domain name and hosting, maintenance, policies, and control. Those are the 12 categories that have to be covered. And like I said, 45 questions. Now, if you guys want these questions, super easy. You can go to SizzleForceAcademy.com/club. You absolutely have to do /club, or you're going to land on the wrong thing that we're in the middle of changing because it doesn't exist anymore. So you go to SizzleForceAcademy.com/club, and for $7, that's it, $7. I made this like stupid affordable because I don't want you guys to have any reason not to get this. For $7, you can join the club for 30 days and you can grab all these questions. So a lot of times when I work with people, it's like you don't know what you don't know about website design. Same is true for whatever you do that I don't do. For example, I got my hair done yesterday. Do you like it? See, no more grays. I don't know what I don't know about bleach for my hair, or I don't know what I don't know about the different scissors that the hairdresser uses on my hair. And I wouldn't even ask certain questions because it's not my industry. I don't know this stuff. So it's the same thing with website design. You don't know what you don't know. So if you get these questions, it will enlighten you. And you'll be able to ask educated questions, And whoever you do bring onto your team is going to know that you know what you're talking about, or at least you look like you do because you got the questions. And it's going to prevent so many problems for you guys. So many problems, I can't even tell you. And I've been doing websites for, oh my goodness, I think since .com was a word, really. I've been in this industry, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. Kind of learned a lot of stuff. Wow, Christy Sumner is on live. Hello, Christy. Wow, Christy. Christy and I go way back. We did some really fun stuff many years ago. So hi, Christy. I'm glad you're here. All right, so we're moving on to Sherry's next question, which is, what kind of results should we expect during the design process? What kind of results should we expect during the design process? Okay, so when your website is being designed, there are 6 things that I think that you should expect, and they're probably things that you don't want to hear, but I would be doing you a disservice if I painted all this, rainbow unicorn picture and I didn't tell you what you really need to hear. Here's what you need to know about website design, and I don't care who you hire. I have worked with, I don't even know how many developers over the years, a gazillion of them, right? And there's some constants that happen every time, almost every time I should say. Number 1, you need to expect that your deadlines might need to be flexible, right? You might have this expectation that, oh, we're going to go live on this date at this time. Well, when it comes to the internet, things change. And sometimes things change 30 seconds before you're about to go live. You need to be flexible. You need to expect that you're going to have to leave space for these things that might go wrong, so that they can be fixed before you do this big, huge push. You need to expect that there will be bugs that you have to iron out. All right. When you launch a new website, there are always bugs. You can test it till you're blue in the face before you launch. And I can almost always guarantee you there will be bugs to iron out afterwards. It's just the nature of what we're doing. So if you go into all of this expecting that there will be some bugs, you won't be disappointed. You won't be angry. You'll be like, oh, I knew this was going to happen, so I'm cool with this, and we'll get these bugs ironed out, and then we'll go live, and everybody will love this, right? So that's how we do that. You need to expect that you're going to get everything in your contract for sure, and you absolutely, positively must have an extremely detailed contract. If your developer gives you a contract that basically says, I'm going to create a WordPress website for you with, 10 pages on it, and here, sign at the X, you are getting yourself into big, big trouble. Hot water, okay? You want a contract that has explicit details on it. You want a contract that says exactly how many plugins, exactly what functionality, exactly, what timeline you're trying to work within, exactly who is doing the development, who's doing the design, who's writing the content, and so many other things, okay? So if you do not have a very detailed contract, I know contracts are yuck, right? I don't like the legal end of stuff at all, right? But if we take the legal part out of it and we just make it about making sure everybody gets what they want, right? That the development team, which includes the copywriter, the designer, and the developer, that they know exactly what you're expecting, so they know how to meet or exceed those expectations, and you know exactly what your deliverables, or what your deliverables are going to be in exchange for the hard-earned money that you pay them, everybody is happier. Communication is key. So you really, really want to get good at communicating. Another thing that you need to expect is that most development teams, whether it's your developer and a designer, most of them will not write your copy, and only some of them will have a copywriter on their team. So that means you need to be prepared to either write your own copy, or you need to be prepared to hire a professional copywriter like me. I would love to write your copy. So I will tell you, content development is often the biggest holdup in bringing websites live. Because if you're not a professional copywriter and you don't know how to write in a way that really articulates a compelling message and moves people to action, you might say, oh, I liked English. I got an A, when I took my college class in whatever it was, right? It's different. That's all I can tell you guys. It is so different writing for the web than it is writing a term paper or writing poetry or something like that, right? So you either need to really have a command of how to write copy that converts. That's marketing ease, right? But that's what we say. The whole point of having this content and having this website is to convert people into action, right? It's not just to occupy space on the internet. So in order to have copy that converts, you either have to be a student of copywriting and really, really, really learn it, or you need to hire a professional to do it. If you're a student, you need to expect it will take longer, probably, and you probably will have to do more revisions before you get the results you really want. Okay, so that was the answer to that question with Sherry. Hi, Tanya Maisley. Tanya was my roommate right after college. That's so cool. She lives way far away now. She used to live in San Diego. Now she's in Alaska. She's cold, very cold in Alaska, right, Tanya? Okay, so I don't see any comments coming up. If you guys have comments, I want you to post them in the comments so I can answer any questions or thoughts that you might have. All right. The next question that Sherry had for me was, what kind of results should we expect after the design is finished? Great question. I'm going to lead us right back to where we started. And when we started this Facebook Live, we talked about when the best time is to bring in a professional for help. Okay? On the flip side, when everything is done, you've gotten exactly what you wanted when all these expectations are met. Your website is getting results. It's attracting the right people. Everything is working the way that it needs to be working. You're really excited to share your link. You're very proud of your website. You feel like it represents your brand beautifully and everything is working beautifully. And one of the most important things is that you really do look like you have a competitive edge, right? Your competitors are no longer outshadowing you. You really look as awesome as you are because you are awesome and your website presence needs to reflect that. Sherry has one more question that she posed to me, and it is there anything I'm not asking here that I should be asking? And oh my, there absolutely is, Sherry Painter and everybody else who has that question. So here's another thing that I have in SizzleForce Marketing Club, which again you can join for $7. That's it, $7 today. If you go to SizzleForceAcademy.com/club, again, SizzleForceAcademy.com/club, I have this document here, which is paper clipped together. So there we go. So we have this document here, which you will be able to download, and this is a website strategy worksheet. This thing is super cool because, again, with website design, it all comes down to expectations, right? It all comes down to communication, expectations, and deliverables when all is said and done. So inside SizzleForce Marketing Club, I'm sorry, I have the fan going, you guys. I have a fan going above me, and it keeps like blowing this one hair right here, and it's tickling my cheek. So sorry for scratching my face every 5 seconds. Inside the club, you can get this document. It's the Winning Website Strategy Worksheet, and you can watch a full training where I walk you through how to create your own website strategy and have a really clear picture of what you're going for, where you're going, and an A to Z roadmap basically on how you're going to get from where you are now to where you want to go. So this includes, it's 2 pages worth of questions. And again, there's a video training where I walk you guys through every detail about how to complete this. It's a really cool thing. And I worked really hard on it, so I hope you like it. But it has a whole bunch of questions that you need to ask yourself before you do anything, before you ask a developer anything. It's questions you need to ask yourself so that you have total clarity on your website design. If you go into website design without a strategy, you're probably going to end up disappointed. It's probably not going to take too long after you go live to say, it's just not what I was wanting it to be. It's not working out the way I thought it would, or who knows, whatever it is. So again, if you guys want to join the club today, $7 for 30 days of access. You're going to get access to so much stuff. There's actually 16 courses in the club that so you'll be able to listen to 16 different marketing training videos that I've created and get all the downloads for those videos, right? So they're all these helpful worksheets, and these are things that I've developed over my career in marketing. And you know, I've represented some really big brands. I've done stuff for Starbucks, for the NFL. I've done stuff for Quiksilver. I mean, I've worked with some big brands, and I've worked with hundreds of little companies. Everyone from solopreneurs to, you know, companies that maybe they have 10, 20, 50 employees, right? So in the club, though, today, 2 things on this specific topic that you're going to get is the questions to ask before you hire your website designer and the winning website strategy worksheet. And then you're also going to be able to watch the video trainings that go along with those. And you're going to get the 16 total video trainings. So it's a no-brainer. It's $7. Did I say $7 yet? It's $7 because I wanted to make it so easy and like, duh. Yeah, you should get it. So anyhow, you guys, I think we're about ready to wrap up here. If you have any questions on website design, what you can do to save money, what you can do to save frustration, hopefully I've covered those. But if you have any additional questions that you would like answered, and maybe you're not on live right now and you're watching the recording, go ahead and put them in the comments and I'll do another live and I'll answer more questions for you guys. So my goal is I want to be doing these Facebook Lives weekly, and they are all for you guys to help you get the answers that you need and to help you avoid the frustration that often accompanies new marketing ventures and avoid costly mistakes, right? So I'm going to be getting on live on Fridays at noon for the most part. There may be some surprise pop-ups, but if you guys just want to mark something in your calendar every Friday at noon to jump on the SizzleForce Facebook page and join me live, I would love to have you here because we're going to be doing some really cool stuff. So again, whatever questions you have, if you have questions that relate to this, pop them in the comments. If you have other marketing questions that relate to marketing your small business, then please join my group, which is SizzleForce Marketing Connections. That's the name of my Facebook group. And we'll go ahead and we'll put a link to this up in the comments right now so that my fearless, amazing operations director, Amanda, is sitting right next to me. You can't see her, but she's sitting right next to me and she's manning the back end of everything. She's my hero. I don't know what else to say. She knows that. I love her. I can't live without her. So she makes everything work from a technical perspective here at SizzleForce. So join SizzleForce Marketing Connections. That's free. That's just a Facebook group that you can join and you can ask any marketing questions you have. And if you would like to get the trainings and the worksheets I talked about today, as well as a total of 16 other trainings on all kinds of topics, everything in marketing. And if you guys go to the club, if you just go to SizzleForceAcademy.com/club, you can see on the homepage before you put down any money at all, of course, you'll be able to see exactly what you're going to learn. It's good, you guys. I mean, it is good stuff, and it's the same stuff that I use with my private clients, but when I work with people one-on-one, it costs a lot more money. So this is a way that I'm able to help more people for less money. So there you go. I hope that was super helpful, you guys. And please, when you go out to do your website, please be nice to yourself. Do your homework first. Get your strategy done. Get the questions you need to know before you hire anybody to help you. Because without those questions, you're probably going to run into some problems that are really going to aggravate you. And I don't want to see that happen to you. I want you guys to be able to get exactly what you're looking for and even more. I want you to work with a development team that is going to take great care of you so that when you're all done, you're singing their praises and shouting out referrals and saying, I love working with these people. They did an awesome job on my site. I'm getting tons of traffic from the people I really want to attract. It's converting. I love it. I'm proud of it. All that good stuff. That's what I want for you. And I know you want that for yourself. So thank you for watching today. I will wrap this up now. And again, I invite you to post your questions in the free Facebook group or in the comments here, or just jump on my Facebook page anytime you want. And if you know me personally, you could call me, text me, ping me, ding me, whatever you want to do. I'm here. All right. Thank you for the love, Rebecca. I see like so many hearts coming from you right now, and it's just making me happy. So have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. I'm going to try and turn this off without looking stupid. All right, here we go. I'm clicking finish. I can do this. I can do this. Amanda's laughing at me. Bye!